Question: how can you support this channel? No, don't get scared. I'm not asking for money. Back in a minute. Hi, this is Jan from New York City. My channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. I love to help people keep their money. Now, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't get upset if you decided to send me a super chat, but that is not what this is about. By the way, I have a very special guest today. Guess who? Steve Young from the Steve Young 74 channel. I'm going to pull him up in a second. Hey, Steve, thanks so much for being here.
You're welcome.
How are you today?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine.
All right. I'm going to talk this afternoon, Steve, regarding channel support. And no, I was not making a reference to money. And then, Steve, we can mention and discuss a little bit of a problem that happens with subscribers that fall out of nowhere type thing. We could both discuss what happened to the both of us, okay? Okay, I mentioned channel support. I have to mention this because this is really important. For example, what do I mean by channel support? I cannot tell you how important it is. Let's say that you listen to one of our videos or view one of our videos, my audio shows or on-camera show, whatever the show might be, and you really, really like it, but sometimes people do get super busy or they get distracted by something. If you love the content creator and you generally love their stuff and you're enjoying that video, my best suggestion of support doesn't cost you a dime. Tap on the like button. Why is that so important? I'll tell you why. Because this platform recognizes all of the likes. And what happens is our videos get elevated to a higher searching rank and more people get to see the videos. Because for Steve and myself, Steve, I'm going to speak for you on this too. We love to give important helpful messages to people. I know this, Steve, that both of us agree on this for sure. If we reached one person per video, even if 1,000 people viewed it, but if we really, really reached that one person every day, that we may have helped them get some really important, perhaps even life-changing message that means a lot to us. So by clicking on the like button, you're helping us be able to share our videos that much more. So I want to thank you in advance for all the likes that we've ever received and to just be ultra mindful of that. That's why you will hear me sometimes on my videos say, if you found any value in this video, please don't hesitate to share the like button. Steve, can you mention like an issue that sometimes comes up when it comes to subscribers that we think we still have? Would you mind mentioning this for a minute, please?
Okay. Well, one, to just come back to what you just mentioned just a minute ago, I had put up a video, about a 5-minute video on Wednesday about to check and see if you're still subscribed to me, because I had noticed a dip. And I do agree. I even said the same words as you just uttered. If I reach one person, I've done my part. If I reach more than 1, 2, 5, 3, however, how many the case may be, then I've over exceeded my part. Then I know my word was gold. Well, my word, I try to make my words gold as much as I possibly can, every time I come on. But so what, I didn't mean to get sidetracked and come back to that, but what specific did you want me to answer you on? Tell me again.
Okay, like how come some people say they don't get notified?
Okay.
they think you're still subscribed.
Right.
What
Um,
happened?
okay. As a matter of fact, let's see if I'm on the same page, and I hope I am. Not that it's difficult to understand your question, but here's a little bit of an example. Um, a subscriber, matter of fact, this subscriber subscribes to my channel and yours, and a lot of the time he doesn't even get notified, and if he does get notified, it is last minute,
Yeah,
which I think is pathetic. I think it's
frustrating.
stupid. I'm sorry to say I call it stupid because it is.
It's not
Why?
fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair to him. And
No.
you know, it. You had mentioned something the other day, and I like what you said, and it makes perfect sense. YouTube acts as though they are trying to outsmart us. They want us to look like we're some imbecile or some idiot. I'm not really sure why though. Um, I mean, they should feel good about us wanting to come on this platform and we, relay our information and our topics here. Considering the fact you do have other platforms you can go to. I'm
Look at
not.
what happened with your comment during the live chat. You gave a beautiful good morning, comment
Yes, I
recently.
did.
I acknowledge it. And then other people, it was like it wasn't even
It wasn't
existing.
even there. So what I did, if I recall correctly, and I know that I'm right on this, you had a collab, um, and I watched your video. I said good morning. You acknowledged me,
Yes.
and I only saw two other people. Yet the amount of people that was on that live was 8. So I watched your collab. When I left there, I went and saw the other one. Then I waited about 20, maybe 30 minutes, came back and rewatched your collab again. I tapped on the live chat, and all of a sudden, I'm seeing 6 more names pop up that I didn't see the first time. Not only that, my good morning, comment to everybody, not just you, wasn't there. It was as if I was not even at that collab to watch it. The way
Funny
it,
that later on you saw those extra names because during
yeah,
the actual, as you may recall, it wasn't even showing those extra names
not the first
at
time.
all.
No,
No.
it was me and two. It was me, you, and maybe 1 or 2 other people is all I saw.
Excuse me.
But people that were watching, I was showing 8.
Right.
So I'm not really sure why YouTube wants. If it's almost as if they're playing a little bit of a backhanded.
But that would be self-defeating on their end. It's just
Yeah,
self-defeating. So another thing that, like, another chief complaint that it's come to my attention, I know it came to your attention in the past. People will say, "Oh, shucks," whether it's live through a premiere or live through a live stream. I didn't know. Why didn't you know? I didn't get notified. So I'm going to look in the camera and I'm going to solo me for a second here, Steve, if you don't mind.
all right.
Okay. All right. This is very important for everyone. If you are a subscriber here and you love our channels, this is really important. I know it's a butt pain to check, but every month or so, we personally, Steve and I, would appreciate it every now and then. Go back to see that you are still subscribed. And if you care about checking out our live streams or live premieres, whatever, our chats, a lot of people love to participate in those. They really do. Check to make sure that you tapped on the bell to make sure that you will receive future notifications. And I just thought that this was really important, Steve, to bring this up. So you're back on now, both of us. But I just had to zoom in on that because it's really, really frustrating. It's frustrating for the viewer. It's frustrating for the content creator. Now, Steve, somebody asked me regarding commercial ads. They actually asked me, should I roll through your commercial ads and play? First of all, number one, I can't answer that question because that would be a violation of a term of service. So no content creator should be saying to a viewer, watch my ads. Can't do that. We can't do that. Okay. And slow and steady wins the race. And that's it. I like doing things upfront, honest, the right way. And if a person feels like they wish to watch an ad, they feel like it. If they don't feel like wishing to watch the ad, they will not watch the ad. But content creators who are part of the partner program, yes, they sure do rely on the partner program. But no one is going to say, oh, you don't have to must anything. One does not have to do anything. This is just an optional thing. That's all, I wanted to mention on that issue because, it could be very, sticky issue.
Here's one, and I'm not going to call the subscriber out by name. There was nothing wrong with a specific comment that I got. If you revert back, I did 2 videos of 2 different flavored mug cakes. By the way, those mug cakes are absolutely phenomenal.
Oh,
all
nice.
you got to do is you just add your water, you stir it until it's smooth. Of course, I don't know if there's any other way to do it, but in the microwave, you just zap it. If you have a 1,000-watt microwave, you zap it for about a minute. Boom. You are eating cake out of a coffee cup. And it's a 1-portion shot. It's not like you're eating a whole 8 by 10.
No.
But they're really good. But that's not what I wanted to get at. I had a subscriber, and I will answer the person back. I'm not sure why they asked me this, but they asked me how long of a shelf life did these cakes have. And I'll look. I haven't. That's not on a dessert like that. Something that's tempting like that. That you're probably going to consume within a 3, 4, maybe a 5-day period because they're that good. Why do you need a shelf life on a dessert? I mean, there's nothing wrong with asking me that, and I'll gladly give the information, but not unless this person is going to save it for some type of rainy day or special occasion or something like that, which
maybe adding to their stockpile type thing.
Yeah, I got to remember stockpile, but here's the thing.
But I would never have thought to ask that. That's an interesting question.
And that's not any. I know this much. If you're going to try, I don't know of any way for a person, if you have a power outage or a hurricane or a tornado, which will still knock out your power in most cases, how are you going to cook that or make that mug cake? What other way are you going to be able to take a microwave safe cup and heat up the contents that's in there?
Chances are more than likely you're not even worried. The last thing worrying about escaping or trying to survive is like, what am I going to do with my mug cake?
That's pretty much it.
But that's an interesting question. I personally would never have thought of it. I don't know. Maybe some people don't eat frequently or whatever. If that's the case, and if that's really a concern, if you find you're the person that doesn't eat it often or just wants to try it once and try it once, it's okay. Then you could determine later on if you could stock up and read the label. See, that's the thing, Steve. People don't like to take the time while they're at the store is a really great time to read a label. And I strongly suggest it, even for expiration dates.
Okay. All right. This is what I do. If you're there, you want to buy a specific item. Let's just use this for an example. I don't know why I'm bringing this particular item up, but it would work. Let's say cream of wheat. if not cream of wheat, say a canister of oatmeal. Now, do you really have to go about paying the extra money to get Quaker brand? No, not necessarily. I mean, why pay? And I haven't priced oatmeal lately, but let's just use, I'm just going to throw a number out. Why should I pay, say, $3.59 for a canister of Quaker oatmeal? I prefer the old fashioned. Nothing wrong with the Quick Oats. The Quick Oats works good if you're going to make cookies or something. But if I'm going to eat it as a cereal type thing, I like the old fashioned. And I've also used it in meatloaf, as you know that recipe very well.
Oh my gosh, that's so good.
Yeah. So why pay $3.59 for a can of Quaker when you come over here to your left and you can get store brand for $2.29? So you're putting $1.30 back in your hand. I mean, look at what you're buying. You're buying oatmeal. There's nothing else in there. It's just the grain.
Oatmeal is pretty much oatmeal across the board.
Right. So it's not like you're buying something with about 10 or 8 or 12 ingredients wrapped up in it, and you want to see you want to see what varies between the two. No, it's strictly, or even cream of wheat, if you can find an alternate version, which I do like cream of wheat. You're buying the grain. That's all it is. That's like buying a box of cornflakes. I hate to keep talking about breakfast cereals, but that's a good example. Cornflakes versus, say, Malt-O-Meal or some other brand that's generic or off-brand. You're still buying cornflakes. It's just that it's not going to be Kellogg's brand.
That's right. Now, you brought up a really good point, and I can't even believe you brought up this point, because next week, well, during this week, the show is going to air on a Sunday. We're pre-taping this. The show is going to air on a Sunday. During this calendar week, I will be uploading a show that gets into people wasting money by not being more experimental, for example, with the store brands. Now, Steve, can I ask you a question? You and I are on the same page about this. We both know that the national brand, and don't ask me why they're so expensive, but the national brand of vanilla wafers are the Cadillac of vanilla wafers. Not just saying it because my dad used to work for that company. Am I right?
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you where that's really the only brand I recommend, period. Don't cheat on a vanilla wafer. One time, I'll just get Murray brand vanilla wafer. It was some other brand. It wasn't Nabisco. Now hear this, and I'm telling you firsthand. Do not cheat on a vanilla wafer, because if you're going to make banana pudding, it does affect the way it turns out.
Unfortunately, I advise people, if you're really tight to try to be open-minded about it. But we both admit there is no flavor better than that specific brand of vanilla wafer.
Nabisco brand. Now, the only other cookie that I've ever used to make banana pudding, it turns out pretty good. It gives it a slightly different texture. You just get a bag of those Chessman Pepperidge Farm.
Yeah, they're good.
That works fairly decent on a banana pudding. That gives it a slightly, because I've always noticed that the Chessman cookie kind of reminds me of a subtle butter cookie, the way it tastes.
Yes, yes.
So if you're looking for a banana pudding, but you're looking for an ever so slight buttery texture, make it with that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, by all means, Nabisco and nothing but Nabisco, because there is no substitute.
It's the Cadillac. It really is. There are two other cookies that that same company make. Well, no, excuse me. One other, I'm not sure. Wait, Barnum's Animal Crackers. What company does that come from? Is that Nabisco?
Nabisco. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Okay, forgive me.
Yeah.
Okay, so Animal Crackers. Now, here's what you could get away with generically, in my experience: the Graham crackers, because the national brand Graham crackers I have seen in the price range of $5.49. I'm not even kidding you. $5.49 for a box of graham crackers. Okay, you could get a smaller, maybe get a smaller version, maybe live with it, or get a generic version.
Well, anytime I buy graham crackers, I've always been loyal to the honey grahams.
That's also Nabisco, isn't it?
I believe.
Sorry, Dad.
I believe it is. I believe it is. I know Nabisco has their brand or their version of a graham cracker. I'm sorry. I have to. Thank God for modern technology.
Yeah, can you please check? I appreciate mine is my other phone is getting charged, so I can't use it right now. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I don't think I know Nabisco has the honey graham and they also have a cinnamon one, which I really like.
Yeah, that's really good too.
Yeah, but this other brand, which it's in a blue box. And that's all I can say about it at the moment.
I'm going to throw a question out to our viewers. How do you feel about generic vanilla wafers? How do you feel about generic graham crackers? How do you feel about generic animal crackers? Some people call them animal cookies. Some people call them animal crackers.
Okay. At the moment, I really don't know what to think, because here I am thinking that Honey Made and this other graham cracker are two separate companies.
Yeah, I was thinking that too, but it's not.
No, it's not. Honey Made is made by Nabisco.
Why do you have to make this separate like this?
Then you have another Nabisco graham cracker, and it says Nabisco grams.
By the way, this is not a sponsored ad for the Nabisco company.
It is not. I'm seeing two different graham crackers. I wonder if one, the Honey Made, it's self-explanatory. Honey Made. So it's got honey on the graham cracker. I wonder if this other graham cracker, this Nabisco graham, I wonder if it's just a plain, basic graham cracker with nothing.
Oh, the red box, I can tell you for a fact, is simple plain. That's yeah.
Okay, all right, right. And then of course I'm looking at Walmart just to. And then of course you do have Great Value brand, which is much cheaper.
Yeah. Yes.
It's been a while since I've eaten store brand graham crackers. You
mean you stuck to the national brand every time, mainly?
For some reason, in that case, for some reason, I have been a little bit more brand loyal. Because there have been times I've gone to the store and bought Nabisco brand, the Honey Made.
Right.
And of course, they have a cinnamon variety as well. Most of the time, I would say about 70% of the time, they run sales on that like crazy.
Yeah, you have to take advantage. If you love it, your family loves it, dive in and get them then. But as far as those vanilla wafers go, I don't know what it is, the texture, or because they use, I believe, real vanilla extract, and that's why the price is higher. You know what, Steve? That's got to be the answer. Because what drives that price up so much more?
Well, I pass this along to the subscribers. If you're in the baking spices aisle in the store and you just want to stop off and do a little bit of price comparison, go over to the vanilla extract, pick up imitation vanilla, look at the price, then go over here and pick up an actual bottle of real vanilla extract, look at the difference. I haven't looked it up here. The last time I looked at a bottle of vanilla extract, it was probably about $6 a bottle.
Yes.
Whereas the imitation vanilla may run you like, now don't quote me on the prices. I'm just, and I don't think I'm that far off, but I would say the imitation vanilla is probably like a couple of dollars. So the real deal is triple the cost. And I have tried imitation vanilla. I don't like the taste of it. I'm going to be honest.
It's not the same.
It's not.
It tastes fake.
It tastes fake. It prefabricated. It just.
Now, I do. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
That's like if you're going to drive a Cadillac, drive a Cadillac. Don't drive something that's trying to be a Cadillac. I hate to use that car as an example, but go for the real deal. And not only that, if you buy the real deal, a lot of the time, yeah, you're going to pay $6 for it. Oh, but that's a lot of money. I can't afford this. But stop and think about something. The more potent vanilla extract is, which the real deal usually is, you don't have to use a whole lot, and it lasts longer than the imitation.
Very, very true. Well, Steve, as always, do you have anything else you'd like to add to this?
No, but like I say, coming back to what you were talking about in the beginning of the segment, definitely make sure that you're still subscribed and the notification bell is activated. And I did receive some comments of several that are still a subscriber. Matter of fact, one subscriber out of the blue that I hadn't heard from in 8 or 9 months, maybe a year, decided to comment and say that they were still subscribed. And I wrote them back and I said, well, it was good to see you. I'm glad that you're still subscribed. And they're a great subscriber from what I understand and what I know. They have their own channel as well.
That's really right. That's really good to know, because sometimes, we make our videos, as you know, Steve, you've made a ton, I've made a ton. Sometimes it could feel like you're just like talking into the great abyss. Like you're in front of the camera, you're recording, the message goes out like an echo.
Great abyss. I like the way you worded that.
It's the truth.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you especially for being here, Steve. I appreciate your time.
Sure, you're welcome.
All right, please, everyone, don't forget to head on over. If you've never been to the Steve Young 74 channel, let me describe it for a second, Steve. Steve Young 74, here's what I call kind of like a random channel, but Steve goes outside. He sometimes goes on grocery hauls, sometimes Dollar Tree hauls. Sometimes he just shows you a recipe review, or he has every Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. like clockwork. He has a recipe Tuesday. Many times on a Saturday afternoon, yours truly joins him on a Saturday afternoon chat on his channel. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Steve goes live sometimes. Steve's got a lot to offer. He has some really smart tips with money. I mean, I could go on and on and on. So there you go. Head on over to his channel and we'll hook up one of his videos. Sometimes Steve talks about repurposing, which is a great thing to do. We just had a great show on your channel about that recently.
We did?
Yeah. You know what, Steve? If you don't mind, I'm going to hook that one up in my description, okay?
All right. Sounds good.
I think that was really a great show. All right, everybody. I want to close out the show. It's been a while since I did an outro. Hang on, Steve. We'll give him a wave in a minute. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Take good care, everybody. Bye.